everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm in a different area today because my my office area is being used for other things at the moment, so I had to move my setup so you could see my room that's all undecorated. So today I wanted to do a video with kind of a weird title. At least my boyfriend told me it was weird. I thought it was catchy, but whatever. It's called Thoughts That I Thought That Changed the Way I Thought. So I'm definitely not over the whole personality disorder thing, but I have made significant changes in my life that have helped me open up a bit and actually make some friends, and changed my mindset a lot. Changed how I was eating, how I was working out, how I spoke to people, how I treated people. Just a lot of things. It's basically changed my whole mindset. So I wanted to go through 5 things I thought of. I wanted to do this video for a long time, and I thought for the last couple of weeks I've been trying to think, like, what were the main things that really changed my perspective. And so I came up with 5, and I know there's more. So when I think of more, I'm going to do another one of these videos, hopefully. So I was thinking about it today, and so I just wanted to get it out of my brain and into video. So here goes. So 5 thoughts that I thought that changed the way that I thought. So I'm going to just start with the easiest one. And this is the one that's really got me since I was a little kid. It was the first real quote that I ever replayed in my head and used as motivation. And it was the Nike logo, or logo slogan, "Just do it." So this was a slogan and a catchphrase in my head for a really long time. Like, whenever I didn't want to go for a run, I'd be like, just be like Nike and just do it. And I would just get up and do it. It's the same thing with a lot of other things, with having to have a conversation with a person when you're scared of them, or having to go to a party when you know you've agreed to it but you don't really want to. In my head, I'm just like, just do it. Be like Nike. Just do it. Because you really have to ask yourself, like, what's the worst that's going to happen? It's people are probably going to think I'm weird. I am weird. People are probably going to think I am awkward, and I am. So that was a phrase that it's really gotten me through a lot of situations. And as awkward and weird as I still am, it's helped me move past a lot of things. Just do it. Just jump off the high dive. Just jump into the deep end of the pool. Just whatever other water metaphor you want to come up with. Just do it. That was number 1. Number 2, I believe I read this it was a book on habit training, and I want to say it was The Happiness Hypothesis. And I read a lot of books, and a lot of the reason I read so many books is because I don't think that one book has all the answers, but I do think that most books have a little bit of advice that you can definitely take to the bank. I think I read this in The Happiness Hypothesis, and I believe it was that book. It's been a few years since I read it, but it might have been a different book. It said that if you're trying to create habits and you can't force yourself to do a lot, like if I know I'm supposed to go run 6 miles, and right before I go run those 6 miles, I'm just like, ugh, I don't want to do it. I don't want to put my shoes on. I don't want to stretch. I don't want to go out in the cold and run. But can I just? Those are the 3 words. Can I just? And that would be, can I just go run a mile? Can I just do my stretches and warm up? Can I just put my shoes on? If you can ask yourself that simple question, you can do you have to ask yourself, like, whatever you're doing in your life, if you're doing something, you're doing more than a lot of other people. Like, if I get up and I go to the gym at 5:30 in the morning, and I'm like, I'm not leaving there like dripping with sweat, but I'm still doing more than everybody else who's still in bed. You know, if you can say, can I just do this simple little thing to move myself forward? I've moved myself forward. Can I just take this one little step? You probably can. And if you say it like that, can I just try such and such, you're telling your brain that it's not that hard to just do this one little part. And if you don't do this one little part, then you're saying, no, I can't even do that. I can't even stretch. I can't even put my shoes on. I can't even run 1 mile. That's how tired I am. And a lot of times it'll make you question why you're trying not to do a thing. It'll make you question, be like, well, can't I just run a mile? Well, yeah, I can't run a mile, so I probably can just run all 6. And then maybe you only get to 4, but then you ran 4 miles. So that was the second one that really spoke to me. It was real simple, and it really made sense to me. I was like, yes, I can just do this one little thing. So the third one this one really changed everything for me. And it was start where you are, do what you can, and use what you have. And this one was really fundamental to me because I didn't have anything. I feel like I'm really lucky for what I have. I live in a nice house. I have some nice things, just like a hand-me-down nightstand and stuff like that. It's not like I have designer furniture or anything like that, but I live in a 6-bedroom house and I have a nice neighborhood and everything, right? So I already have a beautiful house. I have a phone, a laptop. I have more technology than they used to get to the moon already at my house right now. So I have a lot already. So start where you are, do what you can, use what you have. So I already have a lot, right? What can I do? Well, I can sit around watching TV and I can, I don't know, do whatever else that people do to just procrastinate. I can do those things, or I can just start where I am, use what I have, and do what I can do. What can I do right now? In my life this year, it's been, I want to do all these things, but my house it was like cluttered, very, very cluttered. And so I was like, well, what can I do? You know what I can do? I can read a bunch of books on minimalism and learn how to be a minimalist. And so just start getting rid of stuff. And so that's what I've been doing. I've just been clearing out my house. And as soon as I've been clearing everything out my house that I don't need, I'm finding things that I did need. And once I find those things that I did need, I'm able to start new projects. I'm able to finish other projects. I'm able to calm my mind, calm my space, and really, I don't know, kind of like raise my vibration. I know that's like a weird hippie term, but raise my capabilities just by being surrounded by calm and peace and not clutter, and being able to find what I need to do with what I already have. Once I know that I already have those things, I don't have to save up money to go buy them. I already have it, right? So I start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. So just where are you at right now? What steps can you take right now without having to go buy anything, without having to plan, without having to nothing? What can you do right now? And that really changed a lot of the ways that I was thinking, because for one, it makes you appreciate what you have, which is vital to changing your life for the better. Just being grateful for what you already have and using what you already have makes you be grateful for what you have. And starting where you are makes you be grateful. At least it made me be grateful for how far I've come and where I am right now. Starting where I am right now. Well, where am I right now? Well, I've been working on my mind. I've been working on my body. I've been working on my nutrition. I've been doing all these things. I'm doing pretty good, so I can be grateful for that. The more things you can remind yourself that you're grateful for, the more awesomeness that you attract. And I'm not trying to get all esoteric or anything on anybody, but just being grateful for what you have, where you're at, and where you are. You can just start from there. And I really did, and I've been making huge strides, and it's been really crazy, honestly. It's been I know I made a couple of videos where I was still scared and depressed, but those are getting fewer and farther between. And it's been weird start doing this path, because one of the other things that I realized is, actually, I'm going to tell you the fourth quote, because this is what I've realized actually is perfectly encompasses it. Small tasks repeated consistently over time compound. So that's number 4. Small tasks repeated consistently over time compound. One of the things that I've been realizing lately is that I've been doing all these small things, right? I've been making sure I make my bed every morning. Bed is made, right? I mean, it's not a great bed, but I'm making it every morning, right? I make sure that I clean my house every day. I make sure that, small tasks. I make sure I take my contacts out every day. This is a habit of mine that I had for a long time, where I would just leave them in for 2 days, maybe 3 days. It was never longer than that. But and so one of the habits I wanted to create for myself was taking my contacts out every night, right? And so I started doing that. I ordered dailies. I now have a monthly prescription of dailies, so I take them out every night, right? Take them out every night. I make my bed every day. I try to wake up at the same time every day. Doesn't always work out. But I'm getting up earlier than I ever have in my life, right? I do small tasks repeatedly, and it's what you don't understand. I think a lot of times what they don't teach us is that your brain works like a muscle. The more you can build the synapses up, like even if it's just a small task, even if it's just making your bed every day, it's a small task, but the more you do it, the more benefit you get, neurologically speaking, from building up the muscle of those like synapses. It's like I wake up, I make my bed. That's what I do. Well, that guesswork has been taken out of that. It's become a habit. I've got that. My brain's like, boop, we did that. We got some endorphins. So we're a little bit happier now. And we've just worked out that muscle. The more that I've done these things, the more I've tried to do things habitually, the better my comprehension has been, the better my focus has been, the better my presence has been. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. It's weird little things. Like, I've always been a really good catch. Like, people throw things at me, catch them, you know? Like, to the point where when I worked at UPS, there was this guy who would kind of just mess with me. He would start throwing something, and as he was throwing it, he would say my name, and I would turn and catch it. That's how good I was. Well, I mean, like, he would yell while it was mid-air, and I would still turn and catch it. Which is, it's not a huge thing to brag about. But I noticed over the last few years that that had kind of gone away and started to lose my focus. I wasn't as, like, laser focused as I had been. And recently I was like, well, what's a bad habit that I do have that I can cut out? So I cut out drinking energy drinks. So now I'm like completely caffeine free, and for multiple reasons. Number one, I wanted to see how it affected my anxiety, and it has helped my anxiety a bit, not drinking energy drinks. I still shake a bit, like I'm shaking right now, but that's because I'm talking. But just repeating small tasks over time does not seem like that much at the beginning when you first start doing it. You're just like, okay, I make my bed every day. So what? I've been doing this for 5 years. And I've consistently felt myself getting better and better and better, to the point where, like, I did small tasks. I'm trying to create small habits. I'm going to therapy. I'm reading several books. Like, I've gotten to the point where I've made it a habit to just listen to audiobooks all the time, to the point where last year I read 107 books. It's like a lot. Like, I don't know personally anybody else that does that. But my comprehension has gotten to the point where I can listen to books at almost double speed. So I find a bunch of free books that got a lot of, you know, possibly good information, and I just listen to them every day. And you pick up little tidbits of information from each one of them. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if I hadn't been able to focus my mind and really be able to focus and comprehend what I'm listening to. And I can't do that unless I build up my brain power. And I can't build up my brain power unless I create habits. Habits are what create brain power. So, and when I say read a bunch of books, I don't read fiction books. I read nonfiction, crazy books that no one else to read. I read books on neuroplasticity and quantum physics. And I'm not saying I can comprehend any of them, but I've read a bunch of books about brain power, and this is something that they tell you over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's like the main thing for neuroplasticity is that you want to create small habits in your life. And this might be a quote that someone just was trying to, like, uplift some people with, but it's actually neurologically, scientifically proven. The more things that you can do habitually, the more brain power you have, and it compounds. Like, you start just getting, like, way smarter. And not saying that, I'm not trying to brag about myself. I'm not trying to say I'm some sort of fucking, you know, genius or something like that. I'm not. But I've noticed that I was really dumb back in the day, and now I can carry on, like, much better via email or chat than I am in person, but I can carry on very intelligent conversations about very complex subjects, and with very intelligent people, and you know, with the knowledge that like I'm very beginner at whatever I'm talking about, but with the comprehension to be able to understand more. And that's all because of the brain power. And it's very true. Small tasks repeated consistently over time compound. Try it. If it doesn't work, you're like 1 in 40 billion. Just start doing small tasks. Start doing them every single day. And just see how much it changes your mind. Because the happier you are in your brain, I think the better you're going to be in the end. You know, like if you're really scared all the time with talking to people, but you can fix your brain power to the point where you can be like, no, I'm not going to be afraid. I'm going to go talk to this person and I'm going to be super cool and they're not going to think I'm weird. Like if you can make your brain do that, you know, you got to leg up a little bit. And in order to be able to control that, you have to do habits. You have to create habits. Small tasks repeated consistently over time compound. So that's number 4. And number 5, which is, it's going to sound really nerdy, but it's just the concept of infinity. Now, the human brain, as far as we know, does not understand how to comprehend a billion. You can think about billions all day long. I don't even know what that buys. Like a country? Not really a country, I guess. You can help out with the military budget with $1 billion. But we can't usually, maybe if you're a scientist or something like that, you don't really have a concept of how much a billion is. Now, or a trillion or a quadrillion or a quintillion. Now, go all the way to infinity. And this is something that really kind of messed with my mind. If you look at outer space, right? And you see how big it is all the way out to I think it's the Great Sloan Wall is the farthest we can see, or are aware of. And you imagine that that's our universe, right? And then you imagine that perhaps it's a multiverse and there are other universes as well, up to infinity, so never ending. And then you think about fractals, and fractals are what is happening on a like sub-quantum level, subatomic level. So it's like if you search within something, if you search subatomically, you will get to fractal, and it's basically like a shape repeated to infinity. And I don't think it's necessarily to infinity, because I know that there's like the Mandelbrot set, which is a complete set, so it's not infinite, I don't suppose, but it's like the inside of a cell, the fractal portion of the cell. But it basically goes on infinitely, or at least to a degree that I can't comprehend. So inwardly, it goes that far. Outwardly, much, you know, also very far, infinitely. Now, I read about this concept a lot, the concept of infinity, in different books about, you know, like Newtonian physics and also the quantum physics realm or science. But I thought about both these, right? And then I also read a lot of books, not a lot, maybe like 4 books on law of attraction. And you can believe in law of attraction or not, I don't really care. But one of the things that it teaches you is, or one of the, I guess, metaphors that I heard there was to imagine that you're laying in a infinite body of water and surrounded by you are surrounded by ripples. Is that what they're called? Ripples in the pond? Is that what it is? The lines. You throw a rock in, there are ripples. I think that's what it's called. That come out, right? So imagine farther away from you is anything that you could possibly want. And all you got to do is call it to you, right? You want to attract it to you. Now, I thought about this and I was like, well, how can I attract like billions of dollars? That can't be possible, right? And then I thought about infinity. And I thought about how there are an infinite number of possibilities I could have been born at any other time and place. My body could be made up of elements that could be anywhere else in the entire existence. But instead, I ended up here in who I am, where I'm at right now. I live in the most prosperous country of all time. There are literally billionaires in my country right now. And I'm not saying that like I'm out here like money hungry or whatever. I just thought of this as the possibility that is probably improbable. But I'm here in America. Best time to be alive. Enough technology to go to the moon. Why not? I can attract whatever I want. And there are infinite number of possibilities. Then why not? And that's what just kind of crossed my mind and made me think of all the different things I could be doing. If there was any change I could make in the world that would be beneficial to like mankind. If I could comprehend 200 books a year, nonfiction, downloading information into my brain, but no schooling. I mean, can I do something awesome? I don't know. There are an infinite number of possibilities, right? So, conceptually, I guess that was a lot. And you guys can call me crazy if you want, but those were the 5 thoughts that I could think of in the last couple of weeks that really kind of changed my entire thinking process. And there's a lot more, I suppose. Yeah. So tell me what you guys think. And also tell me, I would love to hear if any of you guys have any thoughts like that have changed your mind. I would adore it. Please tell me. I would love to hear your stories. And I want to say thank you for all the comments and the likes and the subscriptions. I'm up to like 273 now. I'm so excited. I'm like a quarter of the way there. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for all the comments and everything. And please be aware, I've been trying to respond to all the comments, but a lot of the comments are very thought-provoking, and I really have to be in the right headspace in order to listen to, I think, what's the word? I want to keep saying authentically, but authentically answer, you know, and, yeah, I really enjoy, a couple people have commented about religion and, you know, turning to God and all of this. And I want to say thank you. I really appreciate those comments. I'm not an anti-religious person. I know that I mentioned my book, my library of esoteric books, which I'm actually looking right now. It's right here. So I'm talking about it. Someone was talking to me about the Bible, and it was a really enjoyable conversation. So thank you. I want to say the person's name was Jean, but I might be wrong about that. So next time I'm going to have some call outs for you guys if you leave me really cool comments. Not all of them aren't really cool comments, but my kids are arguing, so I'm going to have to go. I hear them in the living room going, "Stop it." Anyway. Yeah, so like, comment, subscribe, and thank you guys for watching. And if you made it this far, cool. I guess my engagement is like 5 minutes long, so whatever. Yeah, thanks, bye.